Daphne, I don't think you're muted. There we go, I think. All right, so we are live. I'm trying to multitask doing this on Google Hangouts as well as Facebook Live, so we'll see how this works. Please let me know. So hello and welcome to this week's Essential Oil class. Each week we do join together on Sunday evenings at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time to present you a class on essential oils. We delve into therapeutic properties, safety, and lots of recipes to teach you how to use essential oils safely. This week our topic is Copaiba essential oil. I'm really excited about this one. So we are live on Google Hangouts. You can also find us on YouTube, and we are also live on our Facebook page, Using Essential Oils Safely. So those of you on Facebook, you won't be able to see our slideshow, but if you open a second window with the link of using eossafely.com/Copaiba, that's COPAIBA, you can follow along with us. You can comment on both Google Hangouts and Facebook Live, but if you are using your phone, you probably want to view us on either Google Hangouts or Facebook Live. I'm sorry, on YouTube or Facebook Live. Google Hangouts is not very mobile friendly right now. So now would be a really great time for you to share this link of this live class with your friends, no matter what format you are using. And just so you know, the focus on video and answering questions is going to be on Google Hangouts, not Facebook Live. I have positioned my phone for Facebook users to view as well, but Daphne and Christy will be with me on Google and YouTube, so you will be missing out on some of the class. So if you are able to, please hop on over to using eossafely.com/live-class. So let me know what you think after the class about including Facebook Live in our classes, and we will figure out whether we continue to use this format or not. So if you are watching this replay before Monday, the 21st, I will be on Periscope Monday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I can present this class to you then. So after the slideshow presentation, we will be answering your questions. And if you are watching this on Google Hangouts, you can click the square grid on the upper right corner of the Google Hangouts screen and then select the Q&A button, and you can submit your question that way. And if you are on YouTube, you will need to click the text link bringing you to a new screen where you will find, again, the grid-looking box located on the upper right corner of the live feed, and from there you can select the Q&A. But please note that we will not be answering any questions until after the slideshow presentation. So if you did miss this live class, a recording will be available on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe while you are there so you don't miss each weekly class. So we are going to go ahead and get started, and I think we lost Daphne. Okay, so I'm Leah Harris, Certified Clinical Aromatherapist and founder of Using eossafely.com, and I'm here with Daphne and Christy, and I think hopefully Daphne will come back here pretty soon, two volunteers of our admin team for the Using Essential Oils Safely group on Facebook. And we have been presenting these essential oil classes for several weeks, and we are having a lot of fun. So these classes are for anyone interested in learning more about essential oils, no matter which brand you use. So we will be swapping over to screenshot mode, and we will be discussing Copaiba essential oil. I'm really excited about this one. And when we are finished with the slideshow presentation, we will be walking through your questions. So I do have my phone is sort of blocking right now what I can see. So here we go. So I'm going to share with you the slideshow, and here we go. So here you can see on Facebook Live, you can still see me. Everybody on Google Hangouts and YouTube, they are now seeing the Copaiba slide. And this is the one that just shows you, it's just an overview really quickly, reminding you of our class link where you can find us. This page is located at using eossafely.com/Copaiba. And again, that's COPAIBA. So let me explain. Let me hide this thing right here. There we go. So here are the Copaiba constituents, and I just wanted to explain a little bit of an overview about constituents. If you've been to my classes before, then you will know what I usually say about constituents in essential oils, that an essential oil is not just one ingredient. It is often made up of dozens and sometimes hundreds of constituents which make up the essential oils. Now, just like cake is not just cake, it's eggs and flour and sugar and other ingredients. It is the sum of these constituents that make an essential oil and determines how it benefits us and any safety considerations. So scientists and researchers have studied many of these constituents and have been able to determine how they affect the body. Some of these constituents are beneficial, and that is where these therapeutic properties come in. And as you can see, there are two different kinds of Copaiba. The Copaifera officinalis is the most common one. It's really difficult to find the other one, but there are two that exist, and these are the two, and here is just an overview. Facebook, you won't be able to see this, but I'm presenting now an overview of the constituents for the two Copaiba essential oils. And as you can see, they are different. They do have a main constituent of B-caryophyllene, but the other two are a little bit different, and that is normal for essential oils. And again, this is not all of the essential oils that are contained in Copaiba. These are just a couple of the main ones. And so from these therapeutic properties, that helps us to determine what the benefits are. And here's a slide for the benefits. Therapeutic properties, constituents. Now we're on therapeutic properties. So here are the therapeutic properties of Copaiba essential oil. Now, as you might notice, there aren't as many therapeutic properties as there are for some other essential oils, such as lemon was just completely loaded full of therapeutic properties. And that is not uncommon, and that is fine. The thing is with Copaiba, although it may not have a huge wide range of essential oil of the therapeutic properties, it is really heavy on the analgesic and anti-inflammatory properties. Super, super good for any sort of pain that you might have, whether it's nerve pain or muscle pain. And we will get to that in a minute here. Next slide is about benefits, and this shows you the different things that Copaiba essential oil is good for, such as arthritis, sprains, strains, digestive issues, muscle and tendon issues. Again, we mentioned headaches, and also for respiratory issues such as congestion, bronchitis. It's also really great for the skin. It is antibacterial, and it's great for acne. It's also good for scars, microbial skin issues such as athlete's foot, and it's also great for burns and wounds. And we will get to the recipes for all of these benefits here in a couple of slides. But first, I want to show you the safety with Copaiba essential oil. Now, fortunately, it is not one that has a lot of risk when used. I know we started out with clove essential oil, and there were several issues with clove essential oil. Even lemon, there are issues with phototoxicity, but fortunately with Copaiba, there's no topical max. You can use it if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, children can use it, but it's not safe for use around dogs or cats. So that's important to note. The shelf life for Copaiba essential oil is at least 6 years. So it's really great to know it can last a long time. Although I'm pretty sure you're probably going to be using it up before the 6 years go by. So we have some slides for recipes. And for those of you on Facebook, I'm sorry you cannot see, but we have our first slide for arthritis. And as you can see, I do have different dilutions depending on the age of the person that needs to use this. I'm assuming that children won't have arthritis yet, but if they do have any similar type issues, I have given safe dilutions for them. Adults, I'm recommending a 3 to 5% dilution, and that would be 18 to 30 drops of Copaiba in an ounce of carrier oil or lotion. And again, you want to apply topically on the problem area. So if you're having arthritis in your hands, you want to apply it to your hands. If you have arthritis issues in your knees, then that would be a good place to apply it as well. So it really depends on where your arthritis is. That's the spot that you want to apply it to. Next, we have digestive issues such as upset stomach, gas, bloating, indigestion. I have several different dilutions depending again on the age of the person using it. You can inhale, but for this, for Copaiba, it's probably more effective if you apply it topically. So you want to apply it topically to the abdomen, wherever your digestive issues are, right? So you want to apply it topically to your entire abdomen or just sort of right over the spot that's giving you the issue. And next we have Copaiba for muscle issues. And this is really where Copaiba shines the most. If you have any sort of muscle or tendon issues, inflammation, aches, pains, then Copaiba is a really great one to add to your blend or to use alone in your blend. And you can go as high as 10% for Copaiba. That is totally fine and safe. I generally recommend starting with a 3 to 5% dilution. For adults, for ages 6 years, I have 1 to 2% dilution. And again, if you go to Copaiba EO, using eossafely.com/Copaiba EO, you can find all of this information there. But you can increase to 10% if needed for muscle or tendon issues. Next, we have for a headache and migraine. Now, what I suggest normally for headaches is please try inhalation first. You can add 10 drops or 10 drops for kids or 15 drops for adults to a personal inhaler, or you can add 5 to 10 drops to a personal diffuser, and you can try that. However, if it's a severe headache, topical use may be the best way to use Copaiba essential oil, and I do recommend for adults a 3 to 5% dilution for that. And our next recipe is for congestion. So basically, like most congestion issues, I'm going to recommend a steam inhalation. And to do a steam inhalation, you want to get a bowl of hot water. This is for adults or older children. And you want to put a towel over your head, and you really want to breathe in that steam. It's best to sort of sneak in a couple drops of Copaiba essential oil or other respiratory oils kind of in after you're trapping that steam. If you apply it to your bowl of hot water and then you go and get your towel and then you're going to set up, essential oils are volatile and they may evaporate before you're able to use them. So try to use them, as last minute as you can so that you can have the best benefits. And also, if you're able to see the slide, you can see that I do have a suggestion for children as well. So it's not as intense. It's using a cup of hot water and having them put their face near it, and they can breathe the essential oil that way. And another option that I don't have on the slide, but another option that you can use is to use a diffuser. And diffusers are cool mist, and you can have them put their face as close as they want. I would suggest closing their eyes just in case, and just breathing in that steam that's going to be very intense near their face. And finally, we have some recipes for skin issues. Copaiba is really great for the skin. And here is an option for acne. I do suggest a 1% dilution if you are applying to the face. If you have acne on any other part of your body, it's totally fine to do 2%. And basically, you're going to be adding 6 drops of Copaiba essential oil per ounce of your facial cleanser, moisturizer, or you can even add it to lotion and apply it topically that way. Another way you can use it is you can add 1 drop per teaspoon to witch hazel, 1 drop per teaspoon of witch hazel, and then you can apply that to problem spots. And if you don't have witch hazel, you can use aloe vera, and that is fine too. But you want to stick to that 1% dilution for acne. Now, burns and wounds, it's really, really great to have on hand. I really suggest making this recipe up ahead, because if you are in a position where you are being burned or you have a wound that is immediate, you're probably not going to want to spend the few minutes that it takes to whip together a blend for burns or wounds. I know we talked about this when we did helichrysum, and although when I do these classes, I like to focus on one essential oil and not really bring in a bunch of different other essential oils to add to it, but I'm going to sort of break my rule here and suggest that you add helichrysum as well. But if you only have Copaiba, you can definitely use Copaiba. So I'm going to sort of read through this recipe. It's a really, really great one. So I'm suggesting per ounce of, actually, let me do it this way. So you're going to add 12 drops of Copaiba to a 1/2 ounce of jojoba oil and a 1/2 ounce of aloe vera gel. And you want to add that to a 1 ounce squeeze bottle. You want to shake it up well, and you want to store it in the refrigerator. Now, this will lengthen its life, and if you have burns or wounds, it can feel really nice to have that coolness right on your burn. It can really help soothe it. So shake it up well, store it in the refrigerator. You can kind of drip it on whenever you have a burn, whether it's a splatter from grease or whatnot, Or what you can do is you can dip a Q-tip in the bottle and you can dab it on the problem spot if you want to. That's another way. I guess it depends on what your burn or wound is, how you're going to do that. If you have a larger, more painful issue, then that's probably when you're going to want to drizzle that bottle right over it and really not make any contact. So I love that recipe. It's one that I have in my refrigerator ready to go. So that is all we have for recipes. Short and sweet, not as long as some of them. I know lemon, we were here for quite a while going over lemon. So if you enjoy these free classes, if you have benefited at all, I do have a PayPal link. I can accept funds that way if you would like to donate. Several of you have contacted me and have really told me how much you appreciate these classes. And I feel really uncomfortable asking this, but I'm told by people, you have to do this, Leah. You have to do this. So I'm just going to quickly go by this and go right to our giveaway, which is for Copaiba essential oil. And Aromatics International has generously donated a bottle of Copaiba for you guys, and you can enter to win over at the usingeosafely.com/CopaibaEO link. And you can go right over there to win a bottle, to enter to win a bottle of Copaiba essential oil. This is I believe it's a $15 to $20 value. And this is, Copaiba's one, if you have any issues with pain, whether it's nerve pain or muscular pain, this is really one you want to have on hand. And finally, we have a slide for my book, The Truth About Essential Oil Safety, because we are going to be giving away a copy of this book at the end of our class. So we are going to be doing a little bit of a Q&A, and I was hoping Daphne could get on. I'm going to unmute Christy because I need to talk to her. Are you unmuted now? I think I unmuted you.
Now I'm unmuted.
Yay! Okay, and now I can present. There we go, I think. There we go.
There you are.
So what's Daphne's issue? Is she able to get on?
Her computer froze up, and apparently she's not been able to get back. I keep checking our messenger, but she hasn't said anything else.
Okay, I am going to shoot her another invite. Hopefully she can get on. Okay, so Christy, do you have any comments on how you have either used a Copaiba essential oil or something maybe that I've missed?
Well, just to kind of reiterate, I always say it wrong. I always say Copaiba. It's one of my favorites for pain. I really love it. It was one of my first oils that someone suggested I use for my headaches.
Yes.
So it's really been good. I usually blend it with peppermint and marjoram and sometimes black pepper, and it has been excellent. So I haven't really used it for a lot of the other things that you mentioned today. So I'm kind of excited to try it for something else besides just pain. But for pain,
right,
I think it's superior to so many other oils.
I agree. I know. I was really surprised too in going through my research on what else Copaiba is good for, because for me, I consider it the one for pain. Just like lemon is for cleaning, and clove is for germs, and sandalwood is for sleep. And it's like, when I look at essential oils, usually there's like one main factor that comes into mind, and for Copaiba, it's definitely for pain. It's great for those deep issues like tendinitis. It's really good for as well. So I was really, really excited to want to, do this. I know this is week 9 that we've been doing these essential oils, and it's like I had to get this one in there fast.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
Yes, for pain, it's just totally awesome.
And I think a lot of people still are not terribly familiar with it either. So it's good to let them know how good it is for things like this.
Exactly. And that's another reason why I wanted to present this in the first few weeks, just like with helichrysum. Not a lot of people are familiar with it or have it in their stash, and it's really unfortunate because it is just incredible. It's just amazing. So Copaiba is another one. It's not your typical, tea tree, lavender, peppermint type, top 3, top 5 for most people, but I would say it definitely is for me. Oh, so we do have a question over on Google Hangouts. Nikki is saying, I know you like to focus on recipes with just the oil of the week, but what would be your go-to recipe for chronic deep pain? If you can elaborate a little bit, Nikki, for me, Are we talking muscular pain? I'm going to assume muscular pain, but if you could let me know exactly what pain you mean, then it would be more beneficial. Then I can help. And while I'm waiting, Kelly has a comment. Would it be good for carpal tunnel? It would be good for carpal tunnel. Yes. Yes, it would. Yes, it's really difficult for tendon issues. Tendons are not surrounded by a lot of blood like muscles are. So for muscular issues, it's really easy for our body to provide nutrients or push those constituents to that area. But tendons and ligaments, those are more difficult. There's not a lot of blood that go to those areas. It's rather deep. So it's really, really hard. And actually, a trick that you can use if you are trying to really drive these essential oils in, a really great trick that I like to use, heat is really effective for driving essential oils in. Wet skin, also essential oils can penetrate deeper into wet skin. And the other thing I like to do is wrap it in saran wrap. So if you have a really deep issue such as carpal tunnel or tendonitis or something that's really hard for it to get to, in combination with adding hotter oils such as black pepper or something to that, what you could do is you could wrap it in saran wrap. I mean, that's really great alone, but if you put a heating pad over that too, it's going to be super, super effective. And I really don't recommend that everybody go out and kind of do this for everything because it's super, super intense. But it's really great to know those tips for that deep pain because it will help drive those essential oils deeper in and get that blood flow to the spot that you're working on. So great question. And Patty has a question for you, Christy.
Okay. Actually, it is more or less, it's the create your own pain blend recipe. The only oil I wish I would have added to it was black pepper. That was one that I wasn't familiar with. I found that recipe online and then modified it some, but it's under the recipe photo album, create your own pain blend.
Awesome. Okay, so Nikki has the comments, okay, similar to rheumatoid arthritis or muscular. Okay, so other essential oils to add as well. Marjoram is really, really good for tendonitis and those deeper issues. I would also suggest helichrysum is a good one. I mean, all of the ones that Christy mentioned is in her headache blend. Those are really great as well for muscular or arthritis issues. So I would say Copaiba, helichrysum, black pepper, marjoram. I mean, you can even go with peppermint. And what were the other ones that you have in your blend, Christy, that I didn't mention?
I think you mentioned them all. I mean, in that create your own pain blend, there's a lot of different options, and that's why I like it so well, because you can pick the ones that work best for you. But my top three have been Copaiba, peppermint, and marjoram. And then since I discovered black pepper later, but you could substitute that. It's basically 5 different areas of pain, and then it gives you several options to choose from for each one. So you can kind of pick and choose which ones you like the best. But to me, Copaiba is a must in that recipe.
Yeah, it is. I agree. Yeah, and it's not well known, and that's unfortunate, but we need to change that.
Yes.
We need to change that. So Gary has a question. Why does burn recipe with aloe vera need to be refrigerated? That's a great question. It's not necessarily because it has the aloe vera in it, although it does extend the shelf life. If you refrigerate essential oils in general, it will extend the shelf life. The reason why I'm suggesting that you store it in the refrigerator, and it's only a suggestion, because it feels really good when it's cold, when it's on those burns. Like if you've ever fried chicken and gotten splattered with grease, it feels good to have something cool on your skin. You know, your kid gets a rug burn or, any of those types of hot, topical pain issues, having it stored in the refrigerator. It also helps firm it up a bit too. It's more gel-like. The jojoba helps with that because it is basically it's a liquid wax, and if you refrigerate it, it will be solid. But if you mix it with the aloe vera, then it's just thick. So it tends to, instead of be all runny, it tends to be really thick, and it stays really well on the skin. So that's a great question. Patty has a question. She says, thank you so much, Christy and Leah. Thank you for this webinar. I bought Copaiba and then didn't know what to do with it. I like the name. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a very cool name. Yes. Awesome. Well, now you know what to do with it. I hope I gave you some options. And if anybody has any suggestions or questions of things that I did not mention, please feel free. And you can go ahead on Facebook too if you guys are watching. I'm going to try to, now that we're doing the Q&A, I can answer your questions as well. PK has a question. For burns, add helichrysum for max of 12 total heli and Copaiba. Yes, yes, that would be my suggestion, is 12 total, because that will give you a 2% dilution, and that's really great for burns. Honestly, you could go 3 to 5. You know, that's fine too. But again, if you do have damaged skin, if it is burned, then you kind of want to be sensitive to the fact that your skin is a little bit damaged, and a little will go a long way. So if you do have, oh, I see a question really quick before it goes away. Turmeric and black pepper. Someone just commented over on YouTube. I just got a notification really quick on my phone. That's really great. Turmeric is another great one for pain. Thank you so much for that comment. Yes, turmeric is another good one. I haven't experimented as much with turmeric, but absolutely very, very good for pain. So yes, total of 12 is a great place to start, and it's very effective, especially when you add it to the aloe vera. Honestly, aloe vera alone is great for burns, so if you're adding a little bit of those EOs in there, then it'll be even better for you. So Kelly has a comment. She says, I have had this oil sitting in my cabinet and had no idea what it was for, so thank you. You're welcome, Kelly. You are welcome. So there's a comment over on Facebook. Heidi says, maybe I missed this. I started listening late, but is there a good remedy for menstrual cramps? Yes. You can use, let's see, a dilution of, let me think.
Leah,
you know what? Post in the group.
Can you try to invite Daphne again? I think she's back.
Yeah, I did see that really quick.
Okay.
I was trying not to cut myself off. People are
Sorry.
like, stop cutting yourself off and interrupting yourself. No, if you, that's fine. If you're going to interject, fine. But if I'm cutting my own self off, people are like, come on, Leah, really? Please post that in the group, because we do have some recipes already over there. And I also have a really great unpublished recipe that I can go ahead and post for you too, that I don't have right in front of me. So yes, there are definitely great blends for that. Copaiba actually could be added to the blends as well. So that's really great you asked that question. Heather is saying, thank you so much. I've never heard of this oil and I'm going to go order it tonight. Awesome. If you want to know where to order it, I do have some brand suggestions over on usingeossafely.com/brands. There's not a lot. It's not very common of an essential oil, but most of the main ones that I recommend should have it for sure. Is she in?
There she is. Yay.
Say hello.
Welcome back.
Say hello to everybody.
Hi, I'm finally here.
Yay.
My husband is trying to fix the plumbing in the shower, so things are loud and my internet's going down and everything. But I'm here, finally.
Yay. Yay. Awesome. So Missy's saying, I cannot wait to make a great pain blend with this. Yes, definitely you want to add it to any of your pain blends. Absolutely, for sure. Missy's saying hello to you, Daphne. Ashley has a question. Did you already talk about arthritis? Yes, I did already discuss arthritis. It's basically a 3 to 5% dilution in a carrier oil or a lotion and apply topically at the site of arthritis. So if it's on your hands, that's where you want to apply. If it's on your knees, you know, wherever your arthritis is, that's where you want to apply. Please do not apply it to the bottoms of your feet and expect it to help. Sorry, I always have to comment about feet. So Gary has a question or a comment. Okay, yes, he has a comment. I have used Copaiba and helichrysum for my toddler's growing pain with great results. Yes, absolutely growing pain. See, that is one I didn't necessarily spell out for you on my recipes, but definitely with growing pains, helichrysum and Copaiba would be an awesome combination. I'm so glad that's working for you. Yay! And Kim has a comment or a question. She says, do you like to add the essential oil specifically to jojoba oil or any other creams perhaps? You can add it to any creams, lotions, or oils. If I'm naming an oil, I'm probably going to just name jojoba because it has a very long shelf life. It lasts forever. It's great for your skin. It really matches your skin sebum very well, so it's not prone to cause you to break out into acne or other issues. So it's probably my favorite all-around general blend, general carrier oil to use for blends, but you can definitely use if you have coconut oil or if you have almond oil or whatever it is that you use. Normally that's totally fine too. I just have a little bit of a personal preference for jojoba. And honestly, for some of these issues, you do want to use a lotion or a cream, or it can be beneficial. You know, it totally depends on your situation. If you're wanting it to stay longer on the skin, then an oil would be best. If you're using it for acne, you know, that's kind of why I prefer, you know, using witch hazel or aloe vera because it's not as heavy. So it sort of depends on exactly what you want to use it for. Sometimes lotion is preferred. So that's a great question. So Stacey is commenting over on Facebook. I have used Copaiba on my dog before since I was told by an MLM distributor it was safe. I have been educating myself with your site and free classes. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Yes, it is one, honestly, like my gut feeling says it's probably fine for animals and fine for dogs. But there was a comment by Kelly over on the animal essential oil safety group that we have, that we recommend, and she says that Copaiba can cause digestive issues when used with dogs. So that is why I don't have it as one recommended for dogs. So, you know, that's where I am with it. If you want to find that, what is it? Animal
EOS safety.
Yeah, I can never remember it exactly, but if you search for, but its safe usage is in brackets. You know, is in brackets, I mean. It says specifically safe usage, and it's one that I am in. I think it's the only one that I am in. So if you see that I am also in it, then that's the one.
It is animal aromatherapy safe use.
Okay. Animal aromatherapy safe use.
And we're all in it. Christy, me, Connie, Patrice. I'm looking at her face and my name, Chandra. We're all in there. So yeah, they'll know how to see it.
So great comment, because I would like to know. I really, again, it's really, you just have to ask her over there. Coconut oil helps as a carrier. Yes, coconut oil can also be beneficial as a carrier. That was a comment on YouTube. It just flashed in front of me. I was like trying to read it really quick before it went away. So Katie says, I bought Copaiba last week. Great timing, specifically to replace peppermint as the driving oil in the blend. I've been using for arthritis and spondylitis pain based on the Create Your Own Pain blend. Oh, see more. Okay, this is going to wiggle. Okay, so she's accessed the Create Your Own Pain blend file in the group. Awesome. Personally, I've seen so much better results than I did with the peppermint. Great, so you've used Copaiba and peppermint together. Awesome. Peppermint can be really great for pain, especially if it's a hot pain. Like if it feels really hot, then you want something cooling to balance that out. So that is really, really great. Awesome. So Patty says she has used Copaiba as an enhancer oil. Is that a true use for Copaiba? That's a really great question. That is kind of complicated because there are some, you know, MLM reps or other people that say, oh, use this as a driver and this is that and whatever. And, you know, it's really, you have to understand the chemistry behind everything. And some essential oils, they do blend well together and they can enhance. And, you know, I think, you know, saying that some essential oils are drivers is sort of a little bit misleading, like it's going to automatically push everything through, because essential oils, you know, what gets into the skin, what gets absorbed past the skin barrier and into your bloodstream, it has to do with the constituents. So it's not the entire essential oil. It's certain constituents in the essential oil. So for Copaiba, there's going to be some constituents that are essential oils are volatile. So there are some that are going to evaporate right into the air. There are some that are going to sit on the surface area of the skin, and there are some that are going to be absorbed into the skin, and then there are some that are going to actually reach the bloodstream. So it really depends on the constituents, and it has to do with molecular size and a whole bunch of different things. So I don't know how much truth there is to certain essential oils being known as drivers, but we all know that there is synergy with essential oils. You can mix them and they work better. So absolutely, Copaiba and peppermint work. They're going to work better than just Copaiba or just peppermint. That's just how essential oils work. You're welcome.
I've actually heard that someone had said to put, it's like the whole layering of oils. They said put certain oils on and then put on Copaiba last to help drive it in. And
Right.
that really didn't quite make any sense to me, so I wasn't sure about the validity of that either.
Right. Yeah, I have not really read anything specifically about that unless I missed it in essential oil safety. The focus is on the individual constituents, and that's where you get the variances of, what gets absorbed and to what extent or not. Some just won't get absorbed at all. So, I find it hard to believe like Copaiba is like the only driver, because I've heard about that with peppermint. Oh, use peppermint to drive it all in. Well, is there scientific research backing up that theory? I don't really hear it talked about a lot. I'm sort of thinking it's more of a theory and doesn't really have a lot of science base involved, but I'm certainly open to correction. So if anybody has any research papers or anything kind of showing that that's the case, and it's something that I'll kind of keep in the back of my mind. I'm always curious when this comes up, but it's like, I never read anything about this. I never hear anything about that specifically, so but together, use them together and they will work well. Janet, yes, you did. You missed the slides. I'm sorry. You can watch the replay. You can find the slides on using eossafely.com/CopaibaEO, and you can find all of those slides over there. Ashley has a question. Do you suggest Copaiba over sandalwood for arthritis? I would use them together, to be honest. It's always better to use more than one essential oil. If you can use 5 or 6 essential oils that are great for arthritis, do it. Absolutely, rather than just using 1 or 2. It's probably going to be more effective. And Missy's saying, and this is exactly why I'd love to go to school for oils. I know, you learn so much. Awesome. Okay, so Patty's saying that Dr. Pappas has explained the order doesn't matter, so layering in a certain order is not important. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, layering, right. Layering is not important. You want to blend the essential oils and apply them all at once. Layering really is not important at all. What does it smell like? That's a really great question. It's fairly neutral.
Yes.
It really does not have much of a smell at all. It's probably the least aromatic essential oil that I've come across. You agree, Christy?
Yes, I do. It doesn't have, it may be slightly piney, maybe, but very, very mild.
Right, right. Because it's balsam Copaiba, so it does come from the wood of a tree. So, I mean, that's the only thing I could think of, too, was, if anything, it may be piney. Do you have any comment, Daphne?
Not really. When I got all my oils, I pulled them out and smelled them all, but then I immediately put them in blends. So I kind of vaguely remember, I wasn't struck by any certain smell with Copaiba, but I do have to say it's in the headache blend that you gave me.
So it will blend.
Yeah. And love it. So I think one of the great things about Copaiba is because it's so neutral, you can let the other oils speak for themselves. You can blend it with just about anything.
Yes. Yep. I agree. Awesome question. You guys are awesome. Okay, so any more questions? Either on Facebook or on Google Hangouts. And when we wrap up our questions, then I'm going to give away a copy of my book, The Truth About Essential Oil Safety. Like I do every single week. Yes, it is kid safe, Julie. Yes, it is. Great question. So Kathy commented, if I remember right, Robert Ciceran talks about layering. I'm not really sure. You know, layering, I don't know that he has. If you have any links or anything about that, let me know. I'm not saying he's never has, but you know, blending the essential oils together and then applying them at once is great. You know, that's a great way to use them. It's really not necessary to layer them. I guess, you know, if you have a link or quote or anything from him, that would be great. Okay, Patty has an off-topic question. She's asking where each of us got our education. You can answer this on the Facebook group if that would be better. I really want to learn a lot more. So I got my certification through Aromahead Institute. I went through their Scholars Program, which is the aromatherapy certification program and the advanced graduate program, and then there were a couple of other classes I took as well to bump me over 400 hours. I've also taken all of the courses that Robert Tisserand has had up for sale on his website, and the free ones, of course, as well. Actually, there's one, the Intense Skincare one, that last one he did, I haven't quite finished. But, you know, you want to learn. It's great to have a certification, but you have to keep on learning. I have a zillion books, as you can see behind me. I cannot swear that I've read every single word, but I reference them often. And, you know, you have to keep on learning. So definitely courses. You know, if you don't have the money to spend on certification yet, I do have a lot of information and courses. If you go to usingeossafely.com/education, there is a free one from Aromahead over there. Robert Tisserand has a free one right now. I'm offering all these for free for you guys too, so you can find those at usingeossafely.com/eoclass. So I guess that would probably pretty much be my short answer. So I guess, Christy, I'm going to throw you up there now.
Well, I haven't been certified yet. I've just been learning a lot from Leah. Thank you, Leah. I've been taking some of the classes through Aromahead, but not the certification ones yet because I just can't afford them. So just find good sources that are backed by certified aromatherapists, and you can learn an awful lot without spending the money to be certified if you can't afford it. Though as soon as I can afford it, I will definitely be pursuing it, and it will be through Aromahead.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Daphne, your turn. Your turn.
Oh, she's still muted.
Sorry, I'm the button.
There you go.
There you go.
I moved my mouse and I couldn't quite reach the button for some reason. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I'm about on the same level as Christy, learning a lot from Leah. I took her website course, the one little course there is, and on phototoxicity. And doing these classes with Leah is an education in and of itself. And
Yes.
I think I can speak for Christy, saying that when we get questions, especially if Leah's talking and Christy and I are the ones who are answering them, we have to think on our feet. So we learn by answering your questions a lot. Mm-hmm. And that comes with being admin too. You know, sometimes we're slower. We have time to go look things up and read, and here we have to think fast. But and then some Aromahead stuff too. My husband said we'll be signing. He'll sign me up for classes next year.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited.
Yay!
You know, and just really anywhere I can get my hands on. You know, when I have 5 minutes of time.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah, that's a really great question. Go ahead, Christy. Yeah, no kidding, right?
Have this.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody comment. Yep.
Yes.
Definitely.
And you know, we kind of don't talk about it too much because it's a little outdated. But Valerie Warwood's book is just chock full of information too. So that one's a favorite of mine. Did you freeze? Okay. I've got people looking in over my shoulder and everything. Yeah. All right, Leah, take over because he's gonna get loud.
Yes, there's information though as far as, oh, sorry, I thought you were done. You're kind of like in and out. Yeah, so there's a lot of free information out there. I mean, I definitely encourage everybody to get certified if you can. There's a lot of things you can learn, but there's a lot of great free resources as well. So, if you're a part of our group, just asking questions and getting answers, you'll be learning new things every single day.
Yes.
And like Christy and Daphne and the other admins, they're answering questions. So if they don't already know, they're going to do the research and find the answer. And that could be why I learned so quickly, too, a lot of things, because I was the first and only admin, back when we had learning about EOs. And I was answering all the questions, and that really helped me learn a lot more quickly. I had just gotten certified and everything too, but, these daily questions and daily reminders of things are really great ways to learn. There was a comment that Kathy had about Robert Tisserand and layers, saying that he, what was it? He said basically there was no real benefit, and that was, I thought you were trying to say that he was saying there was a benefit. That's why I'm like, I don't think he said there's like a benefit to layering. So you're kind of saying like where I was thinking, where there's really no benefit to layering. Yeah, and Daphne's saying that we talked about synergies. The order doesn't matter, right? Because you want to blend. That's the important thing, is you're blending. You really don't need to layer. You really don't need to add one, wait 5 minutes, add another, wait 5 minutes. You don't need to do that. It's super effective. Just take your essential oils that you're going to be blending, add them to your carrier oil or lotion or aloe vera, whatever you're using, and apply it once. That's all you have to do. It's very, very effective that way. So Lynn says she has an off-topic question. What are the best essential oils to get started with? Now, this is one that is going to be different for everybody, really, because it really depends on what your family's issues are. There could be some families that are dealing with allergies, so they may need different essential oils to start off with than a family dealing with ADHD and focus, or a family dealing with, constantly being sick. Or so, you can go ahead and post that in the group, Lynn. If you're not a part of our group, you can go to usingeossafely.com/FB. That will bring you right to our group. And if we're not already on, we're doing this class right now, but if there's another admin not on this class that happens to be on over there, they can approve you right away. But once you get approved, please ask your question and just wait and see, because a lot of our answers may be different. There may be some common ones, like, say, tea tree, lemon, lavender, peppermint. There's going to be some. Again, though, if you have kids under the age of 6, then you're probably not going to want peppermint. If you do have kids that are older, then it's okay. It depends on your family structure too, the ages of your children, what ones you're going to want to avoid. If you're pregnant, there's a lot of different variables out there. But go ahead and post in our group and see what you get for answers. Okay, so let me see. So Nikki has a question. Oh, Nikki has a question for you, Daphne, about the last book that you mentioned. I think you have to unmute yourself. I can't seem to do it.
There we go. I was typing in response to something else, and so when I come back here to unmute myself, the screen won't move to give me the button. Okay. Sorry that takes forever. What book is it? It's the one by Valerie Warwood.
Okay, right.
It's upstairs. Do you have it on your shelf?
I do. This one?
Yes, that one. I love that one.
Okay.
And I know there are a couple outdated things, but I think there's only one that I've come across, and that's the use of eucalyptus for children, which, as we've discussed, technically is okay, but we recommend, because of experience and stories in the group, waiting until the original recommendation of older. So it's less outdated than it seems on the surface, just face value. But she really knows her stuff, and she's got a lot of recipes, covers a lot of ground, and it's really in depth. So it's kind of like if I go to Laura's book for a recipe, which is chock full of recipes, it's amazing. I'm still going to go pick Valerie's book, yes, and compare and see, you know, like which oils they have in common. Does one have a better recipe? Like when it came to perfumes, Laura didn't really have a whole ton on perfumes, but Valerie had a ton. And so they kind of they tag team really well. Apparently Marshall and I are trying to tag team here. So anyway, that was the first essential oil book I ever got. The only one the library carried. And actually, I still have it. My library is probably going to ban me for life at this point.
Awesome. So I just wanted to present to everyone here that is not on Facebook that didn't see me as I was doing this. This is the one that Daphne was talking about here. This one right here. And it does have some outdated information in it, so you always want to override it with the information from Essential Oil Safety. And, of course, this is Laura's book that we recommend often in the group. And this is all updated safety-wise right here. So Janet is saying that Warwood has an updated version coming out later this year. So that is awesome. I'm really interested to know if she's updated the safety according to Robert Tisserand's book, Essential Oil Safety.
I'm kind of mad now. Eric just got me that book.
Yeah, right.
I still have the library copy, and he's like, what? And he just bought it for me, and so now I'm like, crap.
Yeah, but this is great as far as recipes, and if you want to know like which essential oils to use for what, you know, and the dilutions are great as well. So
and she has a lot of substitutes, which Laura does too. But you know, so if you go, okay, I'm not going to use eucalyptus on my kid, you know, you can pick a different one from the list.
Right.
Excuse you, and of course you can always ask in the group as well. So you know, but I think that's the only oil I can think of off the top of my head that she has that we don't recommend for kids. That's the only piece.
And probably peppermint too, though, right?
Maybe, but
yeah, because and rosemary and stuff. Yeah.
Maybe, but I want to say not. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there's rosemary.
I'm not recommending them for babies.
Right. Like there's even like lemongrass and stuff. But, yeah, overall, it's good overall.
Stop it. Her dilutions are on point. So you don't have to worry about
good dilutions. Right. So Nikki has a comment that she has the book. Okay, she has the book too. So it's basically her comment. Okay, great. Awesome. So Patty's comment is, oh, that's nice. She says, thank you, all of you. You were so generous with your time and knowledge. Thanks, Patty. Awesome. It's so nice to hear that. So are there any other questions that you have either about Copaiba essential oil or about essential oils in general? We can keep it open for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to ask my question. I see you guys are all working here on the Q&A on both Facebook and Google Hangouts, so I can give a copy away of my book. So excited! Every week I ask a question to see if you guys have been paying attention, and whoever is the one to answer first will get a copy of my book. So if that happens to be you, well, I'm just waiting if anybody has any last-minute questions, and then I'm going to go right into it. Will the recipe be in sight? All of the recipes that I have gone over with you are on the link. And I wish I wrote it down, but I didn't. But it's using eossafely.com/Copaiba, and that's COPAIBAEO, Copaiba EO, and you can find everything there. Actually, that's not quite right, Daphne. It's COPAIBAEO. She linked it for us in the Facebook group. I know. I hate that. Now try to edit it. So any other questions? Or Christy or Daphne, if you have anything to say, let me know and I can plop you up there. Basically, if you have any pain, you need Copaiba, whether it's for headaches, muscle aches, anything, you want to at least add it, to a blend you're already using. Okay, awesome. Great, so no more questions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ask mine. And whoever's the first one to post on whichever format that I happen to see first, you are going to win a copy. Can carrier oils differ on how deep oils can be? I can't read the whole comment. I'm going to have to reply to that on YouTube after. Okay, so my question is, for Copaiba essential oil, is it safe for cats or is it safe for dogs? And that's my question. To see who's going to have the right answer first. Yes, Carrie, find the group for next time. I'm not seeing any correct answers so far. It's kind of a trick question. Stacy, there you go. None. That's right.
Kathy.
It's not safe for either one.
Kathy got it.
Kathy, I'm seeing Stacy.
I saw Kathy before you said I'm not seeing any.
No, she said dogs though.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was just paying attention to who was
Right.
who was answering. I wasn't even paying attention to the answer. Jeez.
Yeah, because
What are you sticking around for, Leah? Seriously.
Yeah.
You're gonna fire me, guy.
Again, my gut tells me that's wrong. It has to be wrong. It has to be wrong. But I don't go by my gut. I tell you guys what is supposed to be true here. So please post on the safe aromatherapy, the animal aromatherapy safe usage group. And if you have any questions, if you want to make sure and know, but I've seen Kelly over there comment that Copaiba essential oil can cause digestive issues for dogs. So that's unfortunate. Oh, Kelly has a question. Where's a good place to get inhalers? I like the inhalers from River Tree Life personally. I think they look really cool. They're aluminum on the outside and they're glass on the inside. And so these are the ones I like because they're really, really pretty. And you can find them at rivertreelife.com or on Amazon. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that smelled good. Whew. Yeah, see, I just opened it. I didn't even like use it, and I can smell it. It's awesome.
Yeah, mine, I got mine from River Tree Life and the labels as well, but I also got the plastic ones from Amazon. Mm-hmm. You can get them in colors or in white. But I do like these better for myself. I'm pulling off the wrong one. The aluminum ones. Mm-hmm. I like them a lot better. They're easy to find, you know. But if you're just organizing by color or you want simplicity, or you're handing it to your kid, like right out in the corner of my screen, then plastic ones from Amazon, or the companies sell them too. I think Eden's Garden sell them? I know Plant Therapy does.
Yeah, they don't really sell them.
Does. Most companies that we recommend do, I think, but I think you can get them cheaper on Amazon. So Leah has links on her site.
Right. Kathy's asking, where do we answer on Google Hangout? There should be on the top right of your screen, there should be like a grid-looking thing that you can click on, and then you can select Q&A, and then you can, well, if you're asking the question, that's where you, just like what you did when you're asked that question. That's how you answer in Google Hangout. Just like what you did there when you asked, where do we answer in Google Hangout? Whatever you just did there, that's how you do it. That's all you do is type in that way. Danielle was asking how soon the replay is available. The Facebook replay should be available, you know, within like a minute or two, and same with YouTube. Both of them should be updating almost immediately. It might take a minute or two, but they're pretty much going to be up there as soon as we shut these off. So
you might be able to drag back YouTube right now to the beginning, maybe.
Yeah, you might be able to. I'm not sure.
You might be able to play with that and drag it back to the beginning.
Right. I'm not sure. Okay, so just to wrap up, in case I see any last-minute questions, I will be on Periscope tomorrow at noon. As always, I'm over there on Mondays presenting this class to you guys that love Periscope so very much. So I will be over there tomorrow. And next week we are doing anti-stress. That is going to be our topic for next week, is going to be anti-stress. And I was kind of thinking, do I just call it anti-stress? Do I call it like duck's back? Because you're just like, things are rolling off you like water off a duck's back? Or is that completely ludicrous and corny? I may just stick to anti-stress unless you guys have any really brilliant ideas. But I did anti-germ, anti-congest. So I think I'm okay with anti-stress. It kind of tells the story. Sometimes when there's blend names out there by certain companies, and actually all of them do this, I'm like, okay, what would that be for? Like sometimes the name, like it's just too, I don't know, intangible or something, and you're like, what is that good for? So if I call it anti-stress, you guys are going to know it's good for stress, right?
Right.
So I'll probably just stick to that. Awesome. Okay. Oh, Patricia has Patty has a last minute question here. Is Copaiba antifungal? It is. It's antimicrobial. It's good for fungus issues. Yes, you can use it for that as well. Honestly, I would probably blend it with something like tea tree that has really strong antifungal properties. Copaiba does have that, but it's not one of its super strong suits. I prefer to use it more of a muscular or a nerve pain thing, but you absolutely can use it in your blend for sure. You say Facebook. Where on Facebook are you answering questions? I am on Facebook Live over on our Facebook page, not our group. I can do Facebook Live over on our Using Essential Oils Safely Facebook page, and if you're not already following that page, please do. It's a public page. It's different from our group. It's where I post things that you guys can share publicly. A lot of you try to share things from within the group, and that doesn't always work because it's a closed private group. Not private, it's a closed group. So unless your friends are actually in the group, they're not going to be able to see anything. So this could be popping up in your newsfeed too. I don't know, it's supposed to. So right underneath, if you go over to that page, you can see me live right over there too, and there's comments that are being posted underneath it that I'm able to read. So Heather says, Heather, Missy, and Kathy are all saying thank you to all of us for doing this class. Diane's asking, any recommendations about where to learn more about notes, like top notes, middle notes, and base notes? Yeah, I mean, basically, top notes would be your lighter ones, like your citrus essential oils. Those are the ones that when you open the bottle, they're the first to hit your nose. The base notes are the heavier essential oils, like sandalwood, vetiver, cedarwood, and they're the ones that don't hit you right away, but they're also more grounding overall. They're really great for sedative blends. And likewise, the top notes are more probably energetic. They help you feel more energetic, whereas the base notes kind of slow you down. There really isn't a lot of emphasis when I blend therapeutically. That means I am looking for the most effective essential oils for whatever specific situation that I'm blending for. I do in the back of my mind kind of understand when I'm making the recipe that I don't want to use, say, equal amounts of, like, I don't want to use equal amounts of cedarwood and orange, because if I used 50 of each, then the orange is going to be pretty drowned out by the cedarwood. So I'm probably going to want to go more like 40, 60, or something like that. So it's something to sort of keep in mind, to know that the base notes are going to be more overwhelming, but you don't really need to be particular in making sure that they're all even, because you really don't want them even, because again, the base notes are going to be more overwhelming. So that's more of a concern if you're blending for perfumery purposes, but if you're blending therapeutically, it's not really something you need to really look out for. As far as a resource, there's probably AromaWeb probably has a page on notes over there, but it's basically what I just explained to you now. It's pretty basic. So Cynthia's saying thank you for the courses. Let me just make sure there's no more questions on Google Hangouts. I don't think there is, so I guess that's all. So if you guys have any more questions, please post over on our Facebook group. You can find us by going to usingeossafely.com/FB, and we can approve you if you're not already there. Also note, we do have a public page that whenever I do live Facebook Live, you can find me over there, Using Essential Oils Safely. So please subscribe and follow. If you are on YouTube right now, if Google Hangouts, please subscribe, follow, so that whenever I do a new one, that you will be notified. I am here every Sunday along with Daphne and Christy to do these classes at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you can schedule that in, otherwise subscribe to make sure you don't miss. So I'm going to throw Christy up for you right in your faces, everybody, to say goodnight and hello and whatever you want to say.
Good night, everybody. Use your Copaiba. You'll love it.
Yay! Okay, Daphne, your turn. Since we can't all be seen together, I'm just like giving you your shot over there.
It's probably a good thing. I've got monkeys hanging off my wall over here.
Uh-oh.
There he is.
Yeah, I sorry I wasn't here for a good chunk of it, but this is fun. I'm enjoying doing the Facebook Live thing. We're getting a lot of comments going and everything. So
Yes.
hope you guys enjoyed. Keep giving us your feedback because it helps us know what's working for you guys, what we need to help you figure out, what's not working, and that sort of thing. So keep giving us your feedback, and of course, share this with your friends. I mean, who doesn't love free? So when you tell your friends that they can take a free oil class, I mean, and even if you're not here live to ask questions, there's the Periscope, there's the playback on YouTube and on the website, and the graphics are amazing. So just I think I was saying last week, if you have a friend who's doing unsafe usage, you don't have to go to them and say, hey, you're not doing that right. Just point them in the right direction and let them, either figure it out or write you off as crazy on their own. But these are fun. I think everybody's going to love them. And so point your friends here. And, if you really enjoy it, you could, pitch Leah a few bucks. I mean, she's spending her weeks doing this, preparing all week. I talked to her through the week, so I know she doesn't answer me because she's working for you.
Yeah.
And so, if you think of it, there's a link on her site. You can donate a couple dollars just as a way to say thank you. And no, she did not tell me to say this. This is a plug from me because Leah has given me so much that you guys need to know. There's the opportunity for you to kind of give back and say thank you for all of Leah's hard work, because she really does work very hard. So, anyway,
Daphne.
a great week. I will be on Periscope. Obviously, you won't see me, but I will be there to lend hearts and tell Leah to move, her thing over.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hang out with you guys there. So
awesome.
Everybody have a great evening.
Thanks. I just want to say one last comment that Patty says over on the Google Hangout. She says that AromaHead, the free class, does cover notes. So that's really, really good to know. So thanks, Patty, for that. So if you haven't already, you can go to usingeossafely.com/education, and you can find a link to the free AromaHead class. So that would be really awesome, too. So, okay, so I guess we're done for the evening. Congrats to whoever won. Stacy, I believe it was. Please send me an email to leahharris@gmail.com, and I will reply back with the book attached. So I hope everybody has a great night, and I will see you again next week, or maybe I'll see you tomorrow on Periscope. So have a good night, everybody. Thanks.